That will signal what will be 1 month of rush for me. Intense football, because fixtures are going to be packed together. Teams will have to play plenty of games. The league probably will have to be on break at some point so that Federation Cup games can go on.
I don't even want to go into all those issues because we said that we've talked too much about those issues and nothing has been done. But I'm hoping that this year there would be a prize money. I'm hoping that this year,
like there was last year, the Lagos State government provided 2 million naira for the winners.
Well, I would love it to come from the FA. I would love prize money to come, and I would expect better organization. And I would expect that. Look, I know that everything is going to be jammed. But I'm still hoping that some sanity will prevail, because when these things get jammed...
You mean the fixture congestion?
Yeah.
Teams playing league games, national league games.
There are things like today you had rain. I mean, you didn't plan for it, you had it.
Some games could be moved.
In a fixture that is already jammed, when you now try to accommodate all those natural occurrences, it becomes...
Force majeure.
It becomes
almost impossible.
That's what I'm looking at. But you see, we've made miracles happen. That this competition is even going on at all, it is a miracle. I've always asked people, some clubs, some people.
What do they gain by playing?
What do you gain? I mean, what's in it for you? What
we see other climbs, Yemi. We see the glamour.
Yeah.
South Africa last weekend, the Nedbank Cup final is the equivalent is their own equivalent of the FA Cup final. Yeah. The FA Cup in England, Wigan against Manchester City. We see what it is in other places.
What it means.
That is what we need to do. Bring back the glamour. It doesn't matter who are those playing the final match. It is an event in itself. It is supposed to be the biggest. As we said a couple of times on this show, other games, league games for example, is restricted to teams in the Premier League.
Yeah.
National League, when you gain promotion, it is restricted to teams in the National League. It is only the FA Cup that takes everybody into account, whether you are a professional club, you are a group of part-timers, amateurs, everybody. If you and I can register a team and we take part in the Lagos draw, we can be a part of it. And it's supposed to be the most glamorous.
That's the nature of the
giant killers
of the FA Cup. But you see, at the point where a lot of people are beginning to get interested in what is happening on the local scene, that's the point where I felt that this competition should have been better organized. For instance, any football lover wants, okay, they've talked about Godfrey Obabuno. Okay, let me see. Maybe Sunshine is coming to Lagos. But when you have these fixtures jammed together, everything just packed. Some of these things will not help. But you see, I hate complaining about things that will not change. I hope next year's edition will be better.
That's what we said last year. We hope that this year will be better.
I hope that next year... No,
that was what we said 2 years ago.
I hope that next year's edition will be better organized. But this one that we have, I still hope that...
We can make amends.
Sanity will prevail in some areas, because the problem is these games must go on. And
that's the attitude that we have. This tournament must go on.
Cost.
Anyhow, we must keep playing these games.
Security, we'll not think of security. We'll not think of a lot of things. I mean, sometimes you look for these records, you can't get them. You can't get them. You don't know. Probably before you know the highest goal scorer in the Federation Cup, maybe it's after the tournament.
How do you compute? Because people are not keeping records.
Some of those things.
I think all those things will need to change. Really, to the Nigerian Football Federation, things need to change. Record keeping, the followership of these games, put them on TV-friendly pitches, and particularly when it gets to the zonal playoffs, where last year we had requests for money and all of that, made it very difficult for some of the states to host. We hope that things will be different. And talking about making a difference, already this year is starting on a very shaky note, particularly as it affects one of the states, that has 2 Premier League teams that will play in the final. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about Rivers FA. Well, we don't want to talk about the controversy and the correctness.
What took us to this point?
Or the wrongness of their actions. We just want to give you an update on what is going on in Rivers. In Rivers, tomorrow we'll be playing the FA Cup final. They will be playing it tomorrow, and it will be between Dolphins and Sharks of Port Harcourt. So tomorrow the final will be taking place. They got some leeway from the Football Federation, NFF, who said go and replay the outstanding games. Instead of replaying the whole competition, just go and replay outstanding games and play a final match. So the outstanding game was Sharks, eventually beating Go Round 1-0 yesterday, and then tomorrow Dolphins will be taking on Sharks in the final. All right, so that is the Rivers situation. Let's not dwell about we said a lot about it.
I was going to say,
but
another back door opens. Because if I have a club and Sharks or Dolphins beats me,
and there was no referee, and they said, you can go to court and leave a lot of doors open,
a lot of things.
But in Port Harcourt, they decided to allow things to rest. Let's go on to this next one, and this is very key, Yemi. We just came out of a problem, and it looks like we are headed for another one. Rangers and Shooting Stars at daggers drawn, this time over a goalkeeper, Emmanuel Daniel. We have not fully resolved Sunday Mba and Chigozie Agbim's issues. Warri Wolves and Rangers again are involved in this one. 3SC are really spoiling for war because they said the clearance for Emmanuel Daniel did not come from them, and is already playing for Rangers in the league. So where did the clearance come from? That is the issue, the big issue that is going on. And, Rangers are claiming that they got the clearance from the Nigeria Professional Football League, the league management company, that they got the clearance of this player from that. So it's a word of 3SC against the ones of Rangers at this time. We will try to get to the root of it and get more facts, more documents to prove who really owns Emmanuel Daniel. But this is not good.
It's not good, but you see, I don't know. I think I disagree with you. Facts are not enough. If facts were enough, the issue of Sunday Mba would have been sorted out. We know the facts. The facts are...
No, but they have already ruled down one in favor of Warri Wolves, and Warri Wolves have cleared Sunday Mba, and they said, we give you a deadline, and the deadline is almost expiring now.
But the player is still in limbo.
The player is in the Super Eagles camp in the US.
What about club football?
He has not been able to play in the league.
That's my point.
Chigozie Agbim has been... Okay. They've been playing continental games, but they've not been playing league games.
There's always a big question mark when all of these things happen. And like I said, it's always the loopholes in the system that can always be exploited. I mean, we don't have to start going back and forth on all of those problems. But I think the LMC, apart from the title, sponsorship, whatever that they've been able to do, this is another area that they need to go into to earn the respect and the trust of football lovers in Nigeria, fans, issues of players, contract. And when it comes to taking decisions, I mean, no matter how big a club is or the personalities involved, you need to go straight into an issue and make your decision.
On the merit of it.
And I don't think a club should be bigger than the LMC if the LMC is the body that is administering the league, or else...
Once you look at the facts and you're able to situate who should have what, come out straight away and make a pronouncement. You know, we had a lot of dilly-dallying with the Sunday Mba issue.
Yes.
A 3-man committee was set up. They came to a decision. Then they gave the clubs some few weeks to go and sort it out among themselves. Then they came back to the issue. I hope that is not the case, because this Emmanuel Daniel is already playing games for Rangers. And 3SC are saying it was not cleared by us to play. So these are real issues, as you said, that the LMC should really look into, because it's not putting us in the right light when it comes to football administration in this country. That takes us to the next one, Yemi, quickly. What's the next story? Sunshine Stars, yesterday was denial and counter-denials. For the news today from Akure is that Sunshine Stars may have decided to terminate the contract of their coach, Abimbola Samuel. Just 15 weeks into the new season, and they said, look, we're tired of this man. When this news broke yesterday that the coach had resigned, he came out and denied that he had not resigned. But this morning, the pronouncement from the management of Ondo Football Agency is that they told him to take a walk.
Well, I would like to hear their own side of the story before I form an opinion, but even at that, you can't help but do that. I mean, the rate of turnover is not good. Benga voted less than a year, and this one again. Well, like we've always said.
Was the first coach to be sacked this year?
Well, no, I can't remember, but I think there have been one or two
coaches have been told to go this year.
Not sacked, you know.
Okay, we have one worked out of the job.
Just like that. But what I'm trying to say is that I've always had problems with clubs, successful clubs, that now have a high rate of turnover in terms of coaches leaving, coaches coming.
I mean, the man who left the job stayed there for about